Hi everybody. I missed last week's video. Obviously Christmas, etc., was a little bit crazy with the family, but I hope that everybody had an amazing festive season so far and onwards and upwards for 2023. So today, as you can see, I have the printer set up, which means we're going to do a little bit of print and cut, and I'm super excited. So I just wanted to show you what I have here. Firstly, I have some inkjet printer white waterproof vinyl, and then I have some inkjet printer transparent not waterproof vinyl, and I have some tattoo paper. I'm super excited for that, and so is my 4-year-old. And then I have some clear vinyl. So what I'm going to be doing today is some stationery labels. Obviously with school starting soon, we all want to do some labels for the stationery. So I actually wanted to do my keyring video first, but I thought I would do this one first, give everybody a bit of time to get going on their school stuff. Because I know that takes up a lot of the holidays, so at least if you can get that out the way, that would be amazing. So the keyring video, why should you watch that? Well, I'm going to be sharing a little trick with you that I recently learned, and it is an absolute game changer. Not only with keyrings, but pretty much anything that you need to transfer small cuts onto. So it's going to change what we know about reverse weeding. I honestly think we've all been doing it wrong up until now. I learned this little trick and I don't think I will ever do it another way. So let's get started. First we're going to obviously design the labels, and then we're going to print and cut them. So obviously for this one we have to use either an Explore or a Maker. The Joy doesn't offer print and cut, unfortunately. What you can do with the Joy though is you get writable labels, so you can write and cut. I'm not sure actually if you can write and cut on this vinyl, but maybe that's something we should try. I don't know if you can. I don't know if it's going to work. So a little bit of a disclaimer, I have already used some of this one, the white waterproof. I made some stickers. As you can see, it's open. I made some stickers for my daughter and she loved them, and I cut a little bit too deep on those, so I'll play around with that. The reason I wanted the clear vinyl is because obviously we've got our transparent that is not waterproof, which is fine, but just remember that unless you have a specialized printer, you can't print white. White is the absence of color. You don't get a white ink, not for a normal printer anyway. You do get them in specialized printers, but with these specific printers you don't get white. So if you have something that you want to print that has white in the design, you would have to print it onto your white vinyl, and then what you can do is you can actually use the clear vinyl to create a sort of wraparound label, which I've seen it before, and that's kind of what I want to try and do with it. So let's jump into our design. Once that's done, we will obviously print and cut. I'm also going to show you a little trick. So I'm glad that I actually tried this. There's a hair there. I'm actually glad that I tried this before doing the video, because I did run into a bit of an issue and I had to run off and go and grab my tape and so yeah, let us get started and then we will run through some of the issues that you could encounter with you. What I love about this vinyl is you don't need a specialized setting for it. I used so this printer specifically, it's a Pixma printer, which is supposed to be for photos, but what they don't tell you is that the photo setting has to be a certain size, so it's like a photo size. You can't use an A4 sheet, so I had to use the normal paper setting and it printed perfectly. It didn't smudge. It was actually beautiful. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off in Canva, and we're going to create a blank document, or a blank poster in this case. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at elements, and we're going to look for frame. Now this will give you different shapes that you can use, and I will show you what that does. So I kind of like this effect for labels. I think that'll be good. So what we do then is we upload the file that we're looking for, and we put that into there, and you see what it does, it gives it a nice little frame. So what we're going to do then is we're going to share that, we're going to download it. PNG is fine, and we're going to download that. Okay, that's downloaded. We're then going to go into our design space, and we're going to upload that. So we're going to browse, look for that one, upload it. We're just going to have simple, continue, and we're going to select the outside. Let's actually go back. Let's say complex, continue, and we're going to erase the background there. So as you can see in the previous one, when I chose simple, what it did is it simplified the colors, and it actually it took away the white or light blue on the inside as well. So we can also undo this, and we can go down here to more options, and you can change your color tolerance to 100, and that will give you a smoother edge. As you can see, it's smoother. So we say apply and continue, and we don't have the center again, which is fine actually, because we're doing it on white. So let's say cancel, let's say upload, add to, oh no, we've got to upload, sorry, browse, select, open, complex, continue, there we are, apply and continue, and then we have our beautiful image. So we're going to select print and cut, and we're going to upload that. We're then going to add this one. You can see the difference. This is the image that was downloaded. This is the image that we are going to use. So you can see the difference in the outline. So we're going to say add to canvas. And that's just to give it like a bit of a funky look. I mean, you don't have to do that. If you want a square one, that's fine as well. What we're going to do then is we're going to flip that so that she's looking the opposite way, and this needs to be much smaller. So now we need to check how big our labels are going to be. So on the outside that you cannot see, I'm using my tape measure. That is such a mess right now. And I'm actually measuring a pen to see how big I want this to be. And I think 4 centimeters by a maximum, let's say 1.5, 4 by 1.5. So let's put a shape in. So these are for our pens that we are doing right now. There we are. So we're going to have them as rounded corner ones. Now this is our template. We're going to unlock it, and our width is going to be 4 centimeters, and our height is going to be 1.5. That looks rather big. That's 100%. Let's make it 1 centimeter high, about 4.5 long. I think that's a good size. Okay, just so that we can see better. Okay, so this is going to be white. Well, let's make it blue. I think blue would be nice. Blue. And we're going to resize that, bring it to front. Okay. Let's change this to 4 because it did seem a bit long, and I think I actually want the proper square. Let's have a look at that. No, you know what? I don't know if I want the proper square, reason being these corners can pose a bit of a problem in terms of peeling. It becomes easier for it to peel. Although that is kind of cute. But let's keep to the rounded one. Let's keep to our rounded one. Okay. Now we're going to have to insert our name. Here's our text. There it is. So these will be for my daughter, Scala Perez. Oopsie, we lost it. There we are. Okay, so let us align center vertically. Why does that not seem? We're going to unlock that, make it a bit bigger so it fills the space. I like that. I think that's cute. So we're going to change the color. White doesn't seem nice. We could maybe do red. I like that. Deeper red. Or we could do a black. Let's change the font as well. Something fun. It's got to be fun but readable. Okay, I don't like the way the surname looks. I really like the font, but the way that her surname looks doesn't entirely make sense. I like the banana shake. That's fun. And ball game. That's nice, actually. Okay, so then what we're going to do, because I kind of like this, is we're going to change this to print then cut. And we're going to change that to print then cut. And we're going to select everything. And we're going to flatten it. So we've got one print then cut image. So we've got our first labels. And I don't think I'll need many of these. So what we're going to do next is we're going to, oopsie, shapes. We're going to select a longer one. So remembering these are our wraparound labels. So we're going to line that up. You don't want it to wrap around too many times, so let's just make sure that it covers. Yeah. Let's send it to back so we can see. So this you don't have to do, but this is just something that I want to do because I've done it in previous years. So let's have a look and see. This is 1 centimeter high, so this needs to be about 4 centimeters high, so about 4 times. Oh, sorry, that's wide. Control Z. Unlock it. Heighten 3 times. Let's say 1, 2. Yeah, let's say about 4 centimeters. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to be cut separately. So however many labels we do, just give me 1 second. So I have 15 pens that I'm doing, and I have 10 mini highlighters. So what we would then need to do is duplicate this 15 times. Okay, so fine, we duplicate again. And duplicate again. So there we have our 15 labels for our pens. We can do that just now. Oopsie. There we are. So this we would also need to duplicate because we're doing the wraparounds, remember that. I don't know why, I just like them to be lined up. Okay, we have 15 there. So remembering you can do this with the waterproof one if you want the white, or with the see-through one which is not waterproof. It doesn't really matter because you're doing pens. So I just want the white in it. Obviously it becomes easier when you have pictures like that. So we have the 15 for the pens. Obviously the highlighters are smaller, so if I measure my highlighter, let's have a look and see. The maximum you can do on the highlighter is 3 long by about 1.5 wide. Oopsie, I'm trying to put the highlighters in my bag. So what we can do is we can duplicate this. Okay, and then let's zoom in again for my blind eyes. Now this can't be 4 centimeters. Oopsie, what did I do? This has to be a maximum of 3 centimeters wide. That makes it 0.7 high. We can unlock that and make that 1. Let's see what that does. So let's zoom in so we can see our picture. And it still looks good actually. But what I think I'm going to do, yeah, it looks fine. So these would be for our highlighters. As you can see, they're smaller. And for this, I need 10 of them. So we say duplicate. I'm going to use all my blue ink. My goodness. So I think with the highlighters, I'm not going to do the wraparound. Because they are flat, they should be fine. But I think when something's round and it's got a lot of touching on it, it becomes easier for stickers / vinyl to peel off. So if we say make it, this will then show us how much space we still have left on our vinyl, which will show us how much more we can add on. So we say A4 because we want to obviously use as much as possible. So as you can see, we're only using not even half of it. So we're going to cancel that, and then we're going to add in some book labels maybe. I think that'll be a good idea. So now our book labels are going to be bigger, obviously. And these we're going to have to be able to write on. So let's see what a good size for the book labels would be. And we're going to try and keep it sort of the same theme, but we're obviously going to change it up slightly. So I think about 8 centimeters by about 5. Let's put in a square and see how that looks. Let's say 8 wide by about 5 high. And I think that is actually a good size for a book label. So I'm not sure how many subjects she's going to have, how many books she's going to have. So we'll maybe just do like, oopsie, wait, let's design it before we start duplicating. So for this one, what's going on? For this one, I think I'm going to keep it white. Let's insert our picture again, upload, insert picture, add to canvas. Yeah, so this picture, we might have to just do it small in the corner there. Name, we would need some lines. Oopsie. Okay, I have to zoom in, otherwise I really battle to see. Oh my goodness. So let's change name just to, because we know who it is, Scarla. I should hope we know who it is. Or maybe we should have the top. So I'm figuring this out as we go along. So I think that's pretty cute actually. So now we need to put in our subject. Now obviously I don't know what all of the subjects are going to be. So that's where I will need to leave space for us to write it. We need to make that smaller. And we could also, oopsie. So I don't think there's any subjects that are like super long with their names. And then let's edit this so it's still unlocked. I like that. I think that's really cute actually. Okay, so what we would do then is change everything to print and cut. Again. That is already print and cut. This one would be, I guess, and flatten. Did I flatten the rest? Yes, I did. Flatten, flatten, flatten. And then let's duplicate these. Okay, so we've got 10 of those. So if we click make it, then we will be able to see if this fits onto our A4 sheet or not. And as you can see, if we click on A4, it doesn't quite fit. Obviously today I do not want to use more than one. I just want to kind of do what we need to for now without doing extra, if that makes sense, because there will definitely be more labels that we need to make. I can see it coming. So what I also want to do is make some maybe water bottle labels, but we will do that a little bit later on, I think. So what I want to do actually is I want to make some water bottle labels, and then I want to put some ice water into it, and I want to show you how it holds up. So let's say A4. That actually fits beautifully. Oopsie, it's gone on to 2 pages. Yeah, it seems to fit better on letter. That's so weird. Okay, so I think we are ready to go with that. I'm so excited. I think it's so cool, and I think she might like it, possibly, but we're close to the teen years, so it gets a bit more difficult as you're raising a teen. Okay, so I am taking out my printable vinyl, and it's got 2 sides to it. It's got a sort of papery side, and it's got a nice glossy side. So I'm going to put the camera back on. There we are, camera's on. Okay, so as you can see, can you see that's more of the glossy side, and that is more of the papery side. So the glossy side is the side that we're going to print on, so we're going to put that into the printer. Oops. There we are, and then we're going to say continue. Print image on a printer of your choice, so we're going to say send to printer. So we are printing on a MG2500 series printer. Let's say use system dialog, and let's say print. We've added a bleed, so what the bleed does is it's going to show us everywhere that our printer is going to cut. Excuse me for just throwing that on the floor. It's so pretty. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Although I just realized I may have left a space between JECT on subject. Oh my goodness. That is horrible. Okay, so as you can see, that printed absolutely beautifully. Look at that. If we just test it there on our finger, you can see it is dry already. So this, I literally used whatever setting was on the printer. I don't know if you can see that. That looks really nice. I probably should have done the outside of these a different color. And I'm having a look, and I really hope it does not cut around. So I want to have a look, and I really think, yes, I want to cancel the cut. I really think I left a space between the JECT, let's say unflatten. No, I didn't. Okay, so let's say undo, because we're gonna, okay, then we say make it. So like I said, I want to test if you can actually write and cut with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this piece off, and I'm going to use that in the joy and see how that comes out. But I really love these. I think these are beautiful, and I really hope she likes them. Okay, so we're going to say continue. We have already sent it to the printer, so I'm going to click on I've already printed. Okay, so I previously used a setting that was just too strong, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to browse, and I'm just going to use normal vinyl. Where we just want premium vinyl. Done. And I think we're going to do that on less pressure, because we can always go back and change it. So what we then do is we get our mat. It becomes difficult when I have so much stuff on my space, and we're going to put it onto our mat there. Now as you can see, everything is dry. Ink wise, it's all dry. I'm so in love with this vinyl, as you can see. Everything's dry. Is it? Yes, it is. That's just my skin being weird. I don't know at this point. I think that's my veins. Look at that. That's my veins. Let's do it on this finger. Yep, that's my veins. Okay. So there it is. Oopsie, nope. It's still slightly wet, but I think that's me. So we're just going to let that dry for a little bit. But look how cute that is. I don't know if you can see. Any, what do you call it? Like, any faults in the print is actually my printer. So like I can see a couple lines, but that's just my printer. But this is gorgeous. I love it. Okay, we're gonna give that 5 minutes to dry. Not 5 minutes, a couple seconds. Okay, so I didn't even give it 5 minutes to dry. I've just moved my camera and we're gonna go ahead with this. So we've already got our vinyl set. There's a problem here. I shouldn't be shining a bright light onto this, so I'm going to put the light off and see how the camera looks. So that's something to remember, is that when there's a lot of light reflecting back into the sensor, your printing cutter is not going to work properly. So I do have a trick up my sleeve, because this previously didn't work because it is a glossy printable vinyl. So let's just put this off. Yep, you can still see. Everyone can still see. Let's press the go button. And yes, your machine will make this noise. It is very loud, but your machine will try to find the sensors or the marks, the registration marks, and it is quite a loud process. Okay, so on the screen I have a print then cut error. The machine cannot read the cut sensor marks. Make sure you're using white material. It is positioned correctly on the mat and the cut sensor marks are fully printed. Try again, press the flashing go button on your machine. Okay, so this was the problem that I ran into previously. How we're going to fix that, here I have, it's called invisible tape with dispenser. As you can see, this tape is sort of frosted. What this is going to do is it's actually going to take the glare off. I want to cut that in half because I've lost my tape. Okay, it's fine. So what this is going to do is it's going to take the glare off of your registration marks, so it still allows them to be visible, it just takes the glare off so that your machine can better read the registration marks. Obviously making sure that you don't go over your actual design. I've messed up my scissors so bad. Like, look at that, they're not even cutting. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna, obviously we don't want to waste too much tape. Also, just a tip, I guess, is that it mainly reads the corners of the registration marks. So you just got to make sure that all your corners, oopsie, let's, I shouldn't have done it so high up or so close, but it's fine. Everything's fine, it's always fine. Okay, I think I got everywhere. There we are. Okay, now we're going to try again. Oh no! Oh, it moved on to the second design. Okay, well, we're going back to that. Oh gosh. Okay, well, we've lost one label from our own stupidity. So make sure that it is on the correct design before you press go, I guess. But it's fine. Everything's fine. As you can see, it can now read the registration marks, and it will now cut where it's supposed to cut, we hope. I'm sure we'll know shortly. So while I'm having a look at this, I can see that it's cutting in the wrong places, and quite clearly something has moved along the way. So obviously we've already messed up this first one, and so I'm going to use that one to test if it actually cut through. And it actually did, it looks like. Look at that. Did it? Nope, it did not cut entirely through. Oh, it did actually. There we are. I don't know. No, it could go again. It could definitely go again. So I'm looking at the actual design on the laptop, and I'm looking at it here, and it's cut so funny because obviously it's not aligned properly. So we're going to troubleshoot that and figure out why everything's changed. And I think it's because I actually went back on the design and then did it again, so everything sort of realigned itself. So on the top we've got 1 2 3 4 5, and on the top of this one we've got 1 2 3 4. So you can see that something's definitely gone out of line there. I am going to press it to go again, so we can save some of these. I mean, it doesn't all have to be a mess up. So I am going to let it go again. And as you can see, because it's already read the registration marks, this one will obviously be a lot smoother. Okay, let's test it to see that it cut through. There we are. Look at that! Look at that! Okay, I messed that one up, but yay! Okay, so what we're going to do now is get rid of the one that I messed up. We're going to take this off of the mat. Okay. We're going to save the piece that we're going to experiment with, because if not, why not? Okay. And then we're actually going to, oopsie. So this would be considered a kiss cut. So I used the normal vinyl on less pressure. So you can probably do normal pressure or just cut it twice if you like. Look at this. It's like sticking to me there. Okay, so this is where we had the issue, where things were not lining up, as you can see. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually just going to use what I can, and then we will figure out why it did that. Let's see, there's a piece that didn't cut correctly. But look how cute these are. These are actually so cute. So as you can see on the bottom here, some of these did not cut correctly. I've got 1, 2, 3 that did cut, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 that cut correctly, and I don't know what happened to the others. So I will get rid of those. This one obviously didn't cut correctly. Did not cut correctly. But this again is a user error. Oops, let's put the light back on so you can see. There we are. So this again is a user error. This is not, there's nothing wrong with the vinyl. This was me not double checking my design on the laptop compared to, oh, that one did properly. So we can even these ones where it's just your name, I mean, we can keep them. We don't have to get rid of them. Some of them are just not usable, and that's okay. Oopsie. We don't want to mess up the few that we got right. So I did mess up a few of these school fees again, but I got some good ones. So I think the important lesson is here. Once you've printed it, don't go back. Rather finish off what you're doing. Okay, this is our clear vinyl, and this is for our wraparound pencils. So for this we need a piece that is 30 centimeters by about 13 centimeters. There we are. So again, you don't have to do this, but I like this. So for this, we're just gonna add more pressure to the premium vinyl, and we're gonna say go. Okay, so again, we need to just double check that it has cut through. Always do a test before you unload, because once you've unloaded, you've wasted whatever you were working on. There we are, that cut beautifully. Okay, so now we can unload. Okay, so there is our clear vinyl, and we're just going to again just peel that away. How satisfying! Yeah! I think I have a bit of cabin fever. I was saying yesterday, this is the most time that I've spent inside or not doing anything in like the entire year. My body doesn't know what to do with itself. So let's cover up our mats. And yes, I will get new mats. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me show you where I went wrong. So if we click on this, okay, I've obviously already taken some of the stuff off, but you can see sort of at the top where it cut incorrectly. These were all small ones, and I had big ones running across the top. So over here, obviously when I said back, everything sort of went out of whack. So let's say let's click on make it again, and I think it was when I was playing with the A4/letter thing. So here again it's changed. We have 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. So the only ones that actually cut correctly were these ones here, in these ones because those were in line with what was here, as well as this little one on the side. So I think always check your design, always make sure that what you have on the actual laptop or what's there is what's here, because it's going to cut according to what's there. So let me show you now the wraparound thing. How cool are these beautiful colors? She doesn't even know she's got them yet. She's lucky because I considered keeping them myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our clear vinyl. Can you see this? I actually need my laptop out the way, so let me just close that up because I need space. Space! Okay, we're going to do it on my laptop. Okay, so we're going to take our printable vinyl. We're going to line that up beautifully. Okay. Line it up nicely. And oopsie. At this point, and we're going to, oh my goodness, this looks beautiful. Oops, I just dropped it on the floor. So now what you have is a wraparound label. So what you will do with that is you will stick your name tag and you pull it tight, and this label actually wraps completely around back onto the design like so. That makes it harder for this label to actually come off. Obviously, with use, with being in bags, all of that stuff, it will eventually come off. Obviously, if you don't have the wraparound makes it last a lot longer. It's also a lot harder for people to pull the label off. Not impossible, but harder. But look at how gorgeous that looks. I love that. So we're going to stick that back in there. We're going to do the same for the next 6 pens, 5 more. Okay, we're going to line it up. This will obviously protect your label and stop it from coming off, which is kind of the whole point of having name labels, I guess, I would say. So we then, I've also got a thing about them all being the same way, I don't know. We then line it up. You obviously press this side down first, pull it tight and roll. There we are. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my goodness, I love it. I know I love everything, but whatever, stop judging. Yep, cabin fever. Oopsie. So if you see that it's not fitting, maybe you've got it the wrong way, which is what I did on the first one. Don't know if you noticed that, but if you didn't, now you know. There we are. Oops. Rub it down. Lift it up. Grab our pencil. Pen. It's a pen. And like so. Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely gorgeous. These are actually so cool. Look at that. And what I love about this is, number one, it is far cheaper. Can you see that? I can't see. Yeah, you can. You can see it. Okay, what I love about this is that it's far cheaper than having to buy labels. And if your children like stuff that's different, like my daughter likes furries, which is what we're doing, then it's obviously a lot easier to create what they want. So I like that you can cater for children that are outside the standardized norm. And I think that that's becoming a lot more normal these days, if you could say that. I don't even know what normal is anymore, but I think that it's becoming a lot more normal for our children to like different things, and I like that. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely like it, but it does become harder to find the stuff that they like. at these like standardized suppliers. Not all kids just like rainbows and puppies. Like they want stuff that's specific to their interest. So I like that you can cater for your child's specific interests and needs. You see there, wrap around. So you could also do this with the see-through labels. The reason I wanted to use the white one was obviously because we've got some white in there, and you cannot print white with my printer, unfortunately.